I arrived in the USA in June 2015. Brad and myself decided to take a vacation up in Tennessee in Gatlinburg, Smoky Mountains. As you arrive into Gatlinburg, you see and look over all the trees and you see the mist, the fog, the smoke rising like some mystical place. And there, in the middle of a forest on top of a mountain, is Gatlinburg. You smell the fresh air. You can see the waterfalls. It's such a beautiful, relaxing place to explore. Gatlinburg has a varied history. William Ogle in 1751 to 1803 settled there from South Carolina. And then Peter Husky, Martha Husky, daughter Rebecca, and her husband James McCarter settled on the Indian Trail, now known as Gatlinburg. They erected a cabin near Baskins Creek, west of Pigeon Forge. The cabin still stands here today, at the heart of Gatlinburg. In 1856, a post office and general store opened, Radford Gatlin, 1798 to 1880, giving the town its name. Gatlins and Ogles in 1857 had a full-blown feud, mainly because the Gatlins wanted to reroute the road at the time of the Civil War. Gatlinburg introduced an anti-slavery law at that time also. William Holland Thomas is one of the most famous Confederate colonel soldiers who came from this area. In 1880, a logging company and railroad was established on Gatlinburg and also Pigeon Forge. The fire of 1992 on July 14th, better known as Rebels Corner, was destroyed. It burnt down and destroyed a whole block, and yet again in November 28th to 29th, 2016, 14,000 people had to be evacuated. 2,400 structures were destroyed. 14 people lay dead in the burnt ruins. The rebuild cost $500 million. And to think, a couple of children started the fire. They literally destroyed people's lives. Thankfully, one of the most famous singers from the Smoky Mountains, Dolly Parton, came to the rescue and actually gave the residents, the families, $1,000 a month to help them restore their lives until the town was fully functional again. What the town needs now is more tourists. Gatlinburg, as you walk around and you look at the old homes and cabins where people worked and lived, where they were born, where they died, you can feel and touch the history. You can smell it in the air. As you look up on the mountains and see the smoke rising, knowing that your eyes is looking at something which people 200 years ago were looking at the same view. There are beautiful waterfalls surrounding Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge, and at every turn there is something to see. It's a mystical place, and a place also great for ghost hunting. At night, come out with your voice recorder, come out with your video camera or just a camera and a flashlight, I suggest, and some pepper spray for the bears. But come out and explore these cabins, sit there in them, see what you can catch, see what you can film, see what you can hear, because I'm sure and I know that the past comes to life at night time. Gatlinburg is such a special place, and it's crazy that a couple of children nearly destroyed it again in 2016. I actually have friends there, Scott and Tracy, and they live just down the road, and their hearts were broken and saddened when they could see the town, their home, being destroyed by a senseless fire in Gatlinburg. Brad and I went and we explored Rainbow Falls. We went on the Indian Trail and discovered a ghost town in the middle of the forest where people lived and worked. Looking into these old houses, standing by their fireplaces, standing where they would have cooked, slept, lived, brings you straight into history. But at every turn, you will see the mystical, the magical, and spooky parts of Gatlinburg. Everybody should come here and explore. It is a place where you will see and find something new on every turn. And even in the middle of the trees where you think there's nothing, you come across a house which seems out of place. But remembering that 100 years ago, someone lived there and worked the ground and farmed and had cattle and had a family and children who sat around and played music. It is a beautiful place, Gatlinburg, Tennessee, Pigeon Forge. Go and have fun at Dollywood. Go to the Dixie Stampede. Go in and see how moonshine is made at one of the moonshine factories or shops on Gatlinburg High Street. And even have a sample. Yep, they give away free samples of moonshine in Gatlinburg. And yeah, the first time I had it, it nearly knocked me off my arse. I chucked this moonshine back and I nearly fell back. But there is so much to explore, there is so much to see. There's even Ripley's, believe it or not, the aquarium, the haunted museum, the film factory, and so much more. The restaurants, the cafes is all home cooked food. One of our favourite bars is No Way Jose's, where you can sit and watch the river go by, relaxing and enjoying the view. And the crazy thing is, you're looking out on the town where somebody else would have sat and looked out on the town 100 years ago. So why not? Head to Tennessee, head to Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge, and spend some money as well, because this town needs now is tourists to come back and enjoy the splendor of Gatlinburg and the Smoky Mountains. If you enjoy hiking, if you enjoy history, if you love to ghost hunt, come here. Come to Gatlinburg. Come see the beauty. Come see the spooky. Come see what you can explore by daytime and by night. The people will welcome you with warm arms. Everybody is a friend in Gatlinburg. Everybody is welcome in Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge. Come and see, come and explore this beautiful, historical part of the USA where the first pioneers put down roots and created a community. By the way, the community population is just over 4,000 still to this day. So it's a small town where everybody knows each other and where everybody is your friend. So come, let's go ghost hunting. Let's go explore this ancient part of America, Gatlinburg, Tennessee. As you can see, the photographs that Brad took of the old homes and cabins are all here. Thank you, Brad.